Going to the basketball carnival, my sister-in-law noticed most of the children had signs of early onset diabetes, darkening under the arms. Then we began talking about how we can stop this diabetes epidemic.
கடல் பயணமாக ஆஸ்திரேலியாவிற்கு அகதியாக வந்தேன். முகவர்கள் பெரிய கப்பல் என்று பொய்யான வார்த்தை கூறி இரவோடிரவாக சிறிய மீன்பிடி படகில் 7 நாட்கள் பயணம் என்று கூறி அனுப்பிவிட்டார்கள். 5 நாட்களில் 48 நாட்கள் நீடித்தது. மொத்தம் 1 அவர்களோட யூரினையும் குடித்தார்கள். 3 நாள் ஆஸ்திரேலியா நேவி பிடித்தது. பல பேர் தண்ணீரின்றி மயங்கிய நிலையில் சுத்தமான தண்ணீர் இன்றி கிடந்தோம். ஆஸ்திரேலியா நேவி சுத்தமான தண்ணீர் தந்தார்கள். உயிர் வந்தது. எமக்கு நடந்த
Look, there's Horia. What's Horia doing?
If Horia flaps her wings hard enough, inshallah, the effects will be felt across the world.
Sharing moment. And also, we just became alive this morning. And now they're performing now, here, right here. And all the aunties here. Well, I'm gonna come up there.
And Bradley used to talk about honesty in your own life. And when you say, I'm a gangster, I guarantee there's no gangsters.
Buckle up your seatbelt.
What are we doing, that one?
Yeah, like you're driving. This is Storytel from the wheat belt, so buckle up. Oh, it's all about us and that's the truth. This is Storytel from the wheat belt, so buckle up your seatbelt because this is how we belt. It's a Storytel from the wheat belt, so buckle up your seatbelt because this is how we belt.
Orphanage, and then they used to put me in the playroom with lots of kids. And kids used to step on me all the time, and I didn't have any way of protecting myself because I had short arms, and I cried, and so they put me back in my cot.
I'm from a Pacific background, Fijian descent, but I'm, based in Western Sydney, so you could say that I'm definitely a member of the Western Sydney community. I'm also
we're part of is really the community of the whole of Sydney.
Themselves in a country that they've moved to. And I'm interested in helping out other people who have artistic aspirations and who maybe wouldn't be able to afford to develop.
My community is made up of young people from Western Sydney and Greater Sydney, and also with Australia. I'm primarily...
My community is quite diverse. The one in which I live, there's a lot of different people from
South Asian through to Southeast Asian, through to Anglo-Saxons, Aussies. It's wonderful. I love it.
What we've really created is a program for creative entrepreneurs and cultural producers in the region. They come from different communities, they have different practice, but what is lacking is sustained support and infrastructure to turn their ideas into a sustainable living.
What I really want to do is to establish an art school, a mobile art school, that would offer professional art classes to people living mainly in the Greater Western Sydney area, people who maybe wouldn't be able to afford these classes. And at the same time, I want to try to offer these classes at a very minimum cost.
Like typically, there's only very few people within the city who get to make any decisions about how the city is put together. And what we're quite interested to do is change that dynamic and make it much more democratic. Get a lot more people involved in how buildings are made, what kind of spaces are there for people.
Maybe it's a bit of a stigma with Western Sydney. Maybe people don't realise how many amazing artists that we have producing work here. And I think too, also maybe even on the artist side as well, they don't realise their value and their worth and what they can offer.
The Hub gives me an opportunity to meet with some really talented creatives that are from such a diverse background themselves, and you wouldn't find that anywhere else in Sydney. Sydney is very hard to break into.
The Creative Hub at ICE has been really great for me because it incorporates the facilities here, which are top notch, and also the people that draw on the expertise of the ICE staff, and also to collaborate with other artists who may be in a similar field.
There's also great facilities here, and be able to come in and learn more about using Pro Tools in the studio and to record, and opportunities to learn more about different business ideas. Yeah.
We're up to our 4th icebreaker now. They're fortnightly opportunities for creatives in Western Sydney to catch up with each other and also with ICE staff, so it's a great place to kind of break the ice.
So one of the recent examples that made my heart most glad was seeing Mike Chin and Adam Dunn, two of our hubsters as we like to call them. One's a photographer and one's an aerosol artist. They were working together in the backyard of ICE and documenting practice, and Mike was going to tell the story of Adam's process. It was just a beautiful way that two very disparate people who would never normally perhaps get a chance to work with each other had come up with a really creative and interesting storytelling project.